José Hernández. De costa a costa en los Estados Unidos, en Canadá, en Puerto Rico.
And there you can see how things went in that first half. The goal from the Barcelona loanee and soon-to-be future Barcelona returnee, Marc Cucurella. But it was just a pregnant pause before Lionel Messi with a brace, and then one of the goals of the season, Pablo de Blasis on the errant clearance, one-time volley over the goalkeeper to tie the score at 2. 2-2. I think all of us are on tiptoes after that first half. Phil Shane and Ray Hudson. What a game.
Certainly an entertaining footballing match for anybody. A frustrating game for the Barcelona fans to watch for sure. As this team, Phil, playing against a team with that much width as well, you'd expect Barcelona to be a lot more rhythmic with their possession. It's just not been that way. And again, the Messi reliance comes through in full colour, but for me, the way this team is shaped, going to be problems for the remaining part of this second half. Look out!
Orellana with a burst, but he can't get past long leg.
Look at Cucurella again, man, arriving, waiting, begging for the little 4-yard pass into stride. It's not delivered. He hesitates just a little too long. Marc was on track for the third goal for Eibar.
Season winding to a close. All the way across, and a smashing header that just carried.
Unlucky. It's a wonderful attempt.
Turning the heat up. It will carry across the goal line off the boot of Jordan, so a goal kick. But we are just about a 3-month window before they start up to do this again. There's a lot of international action coming up in the off-season. The Nations League, the under-20s, Copa America, Women's World Cup even. So much to focus in on, but from a league perspective, just under 45 minutes remain of La Liga football. Guiding the ball to the feet of Busquets. Now to Rakitic. Rumors that he might be departing, although they seem to have calmed a bit.
Yeah, there's rumors about so many Barcelona players leaving, but not the coach. Coach is fine.
Out wide. Back for Vidal. Debut season got off to a bumpy start for Vidal. Credit to Valverde in regards to the Chilean. He did guide him into being an influential player down the stretch. Alba. Maybe the best first half of any player, including Messi. But slowed down a bit. Messi on track for a hat trick. Makes the run. Cuts back. A little change of pace. Credit to the veteran Ramis. maybe his final half of football for Eibar. A little tangle here. Alba, as he landed, seemed to catch Orellana, and both players land awkwardly.
Yeah, they'll be fine. There's wonderful play earlier from Lagay, who's joined the fray and helped set up this good opportunity.
Ray for Eibar.
Jordi Alba, excuse me, Phil, in this situation where this team is so adept at finding players on the move and on the run, but they haven't been that way today. Again, maybe a brighter start in the second half here.
Eibar, even though a bit of a slow start, more or less right around that 12th position. This match brought to you in part by Geico, which is where they will finish, win, lose, or draw here today. They'd like to finish with a win. In for Charles, but the deflection just behind.
Helps put out his own fire here after gifting the ball to Charles's man. It's Langley that's able to extend his leg and get a little touch at the right time.
Meanwhile, for Barcelona, first or second the entire campaign and topping the table since before the midway point continuously. But as you take a look, Ter Stegen probably comes away with good marks. The back line, Piqué, maybe his best season in a while since he could focus in on his club career without the international duties. Oh, whipped across by De Blasi's, touched by Andries, back through the middle. And Silesen, fortunate Orellana didn't find a touch.
Rich is unlucky here, not just with the strike, but that he didn't get the second one. The one that flashes across Silesen should have been pulled back for Enrich for a little tap-in goal. A wonderful attempted play again, the wide play causing Barcelona problems, and yet once they get possession they can't break the lines to get good advancement going the other way. And again,
mentioned Alba with his first half of the season. I think credit has to go to Langley. Remember, Umtiti was supposed to be the starter, but missed much of the campaign. And while Sergio Roberto and Semedo sharing that right back spot, that's probably something that Valverde will try and iron out to come up with a clear-cut starter for next season. In the midfield, Busquets, still brilliant, but now 30. And slowing down even more. They'd used Rakitic to help cover. Will that continue?
Here's the opportunity. It gets flashed towards Silesen. He saves well, and there, the cut back there, you see Enrich begging for this ball. He recovers well, gets up after his break dancing, and wants the ball pulled back by Orellana. Doesn't get it.
Some of those other players in the midfield, a poor clearance. Silesen again
wants it back. Cucurella should have headed back.
Outside of the boot for Charles, and the small man getting up but can't get past Silesen.
Langley just doing enough to lean in and put him off of his header, fortunately for Barcelona.
Vidal probably a plus in the big picture. Arthur seemingly fitting in, but was there much end product to his game? And then you look at the front line. Dembele, when healthy, a bit frustrating but potential. Busquets pocket picked by Escalante. Cucurella through. Orellana! But his right foot fails him.
His right foot turns into a size 9 jellyfish. Unfortunately for the Chilean international, he's better than this. Just one of those things. Wonderful again by Mark, reading the pass, wanting it back. They look away from him. Lovely feed in, and there's that little just lean in by Langley, knowing that he's going to get beat, but wonderful touch. Just a shoulder into him, just enough to put him off.
Pressure again by Eibar, winning the ball back.
Good turn.
But Barcelona with a turn. Messi.
Oh.
Second effort. offside against Malcolm.
He's unlucky here, Malcolm. He keeps checking his run. Not just once, I think twice he checks his run. There's the first one. He's trying to get back again, but he's caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Unlucky from Malcolm there.
Front line for Barcelona. You cannot argue with Messi, although his role has changed. Now 31, he will be 32 come June and into next season.
June 24th, Phil.
You already have a card picked out.
Got two. One for a player that was even better than Messi. Roman Riquelme.
Had a feeling. And Suarez again, so frustrating because there's moments of genius and moments where you wonder how he's on the pitch. They went out, picked up Kevin Prince Boateng. We still wonder why. Does not seem to be the fit for Barcelona, so you knew they were looking there. If you were going to pick three positions that Barcelona needs to improve upon in the offseason, and I'll give you this free kick to think about it. Silesen getting ready, the 24-year-old Jordan. In for Piqué to clear and out for the throw. And if you were going to pick three spots Barcelona needs to improve upon to get back to being a European champion, what would they be?
They've got two already, haven't they? Arriving from Ajax. And the other one would be a centre forward, whether it's Griezmann or whether it's one of the lads from Arsenal. I wouldn't mind seeing the likes of an Aubameyang.
Or a Lacazette.
Or a Lacazette, truly. But hey, listen, you know, an injection of pace is not what you're going to get from Frankie de Jong into this team. And that's been a concern. And you thought it was going to happen with Dembele. Is it still going to? Well, you know, his honeymoon period is finished. Coutinho had his opportunities and nowhere near consistency. And so we'll see, man. It's going to be everywhere you can look. At the PSGs, the Manchester Uniteds, the Juventus, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. They're all in this phase of rebuilding. Meanwhile, Liverpool looks strong and set for a period of European domination, let's say, because this will be the second final that Liverpool's in, and they are looking truly, truly strong as a footballing club in depth. If they add to that, Liverpool are going to be the real flavour of the month in world football, Phil. Make no mistake, they are that good.
You talked about the rumors, and let's pen them in. If they close the deal on De Jong and De Ligt and get Antoine Griezmann, is that enough to put them in that Liverpool category?
It's not. Then there's serious problems. But who's the coach? Is the coach going to be taking that Aladdin's cave and making them to a team that defies the torpedoes and plays the Barcelona way and is brave and not cowardly in protecting 3-0 and 4-0 leads? That's the big question. So in front of the players, you're asking me, Phil Shane, I'm giving him the answer. It's not the players.
Well, Josep Bartomeu says Valverde's the man. We'll see how things play out. Malcolm back to Vidal into the middle. There is a certain coach who people said would be a future Barcelona manager who is available as of the last half hour. Word coming out of Seville, Quique Setien has been let loose for Real Betis after watching their performance against Real Madrid. You see the high points, but the Betis front office thinking it was just a little too sporadic this season.
Maybe, Phil, there's no question he went on a terrible, terrible run of form, but his men never gave up on him. His locker room was not lost, and they went out truly sending off Quique Setien with a wonderful win at the White House.
Beat Atletico, Barca, and Real, and beat Real at the Bernabeu 2 years running. So for all of his flaws, you can see the potential. I think Betis might regret that decision before all is said and done. Ball in, two in the middle, almost to Orellana. Cucurella trying to deny Alba's clearance. And again, the loose ball falling to Eibar. These are tight confines, only about 112 yards long, about 70, 71 yards wide.
And the truth of it is, football being football, the mental part of this game is an enormous dimension to it. This being in this game, as you said, Phil, other than a dress rehearsal for the King's Cup that'll be played on Saturday, trying to get them into that sort of rhythm back and that confidence, well, it'll be well earned tonight, because it's been a slippery slope for Barcelona here today, and a wonderful game. Peach of a pass from Busquets.
Ball back, Wage. Throw him into the mix with Sergio Roberto and Semedo.
Yeah. Sharp, isn't he?
Well, I think one of the things you alluded to, you need a little bit more youth in there, and it looks like they'll get it. You need a lot more speed. You can't just rely on one speedy player nowadays. And that might be something you figure Griezmann could add.
Well said.
Along with a healthy Dembele.
That competition for spots is going to be pretty intense, especially if De Ligt and Frankie. Well, Frankie is already on his way. Nice ball.
The big dog hunting.
Oh!
Denied by Dimitrovic.
Wow, well played, Gerrard. Have a laugh. It's been a tough year, but he's been wonderful for the most part of it. And he tries to tattoo this one past Dimitrovic, and it's not a bad effort for the big man. Wonderful straight, the angles, tough, acute, distances. Big man to beat, and Gerrard comes so close.
4 goals this season for the big man. 32 years of age. All driven in. He'll stay up. It's been a few years that he's actually been that extra center forward when needed. Down for Sergio Roberto. In Malcolm. Squares. Was it a shot? Was it a pass?
No, it wasn't a shave or a haircut, if you're asking, and Messi shoots him the dagger eyes. Malcolm's wonderful run to get this ball, but it's Messi, ingenious with his passes. Look at this again. I hope we see it again, people. This one, it's just played just slack and not finding the target, but the ball from Lionel Messi again. 3 men inside a telephone box, and you know what. Brilliant from Leo, and Malcolm disappointing with his final pass.
Down.
I think it was Cote that was coming across with his outstretched legs, but the ball needed to be played a little earlier. I think it was for Piqué. It was open for the tap into the empty net. Magic ball from Lionel.
Out wide for Wage.
I keep using the expression, Phil, he doesn't look for passing lanes, he invents them. That's a perfect example of that fly's eye vision and his true genius.
Well, I know there's something you're going to be involved in. Cirque du Soleil trying to put Messi on a wire. Might be one of the first things they've tried to do, where the real version might actually be more on a wire than the one that they do.
Yeah.
They're giving an idea of how Messi has become so much more than just a footballer. Hour in the books, just under a half hour left to go. Looking for the upper corner, and they're not going to find it. Kike getting a chance. Andoni Ascargorta with the clipboard in hand. Normally he's up in the booth Now down on the sideline with Mendilibar. Oriana thought he'd have a go.
Alanya about to enter as well, Phil, and you know, this whole situation with the Barcelona coach is not going to go away till the end of the season. And if you believe the reports coming out of the Barcelona dressing room, they ain't too disgruntled at Ernesto Valverde. Take it for what it's worth, and that's a
three this year for Kike. See if he can add to it here. Is Eibar still looking for a winner?
Player who's had some wonderful games himself, Alanya. Played again, Cucurella, smart player, man.
Kike back. He's just 20 years of age.
There's
he has
so
that
much
Barcelona feel to him.
So much to like. It's not just that quickness and sharpness of his passing and his movement. It's truly the whole, as I said earlier, the whole compass within his range, and a developing player. It looks as if he could go to virtually any team, drop him in, and he'll contribute big time.
There's a braveness to his game as well. Little lean from Charles, gets the touch, and Kike there to collect. Back for Charles.
Cucurella, he always wants the ball, that's for sure. That's such a great saying. Look at him every time anybody gets it. Anyway, I'm available, and if I'm not available, I make myself available.
The ball's his best friend. Kike, not so much. What? Throw in Wage on the far side. Well, the rain dying down, holding off, although you can see some of the fans still in winter coats. The temperature in the low 50s.
Proper northeastern weather, that's for sure.
We'll talk about managers, and obviously different situations, horses for courses. And Jose Luis Mendilibar looking like a pretty good jockey for this Eibar side. Headed away. Poorly touched by Rakitic, right to Cucurella, back into the middle, but Rakitic returns the favor. Guess it depends, what do they do with some of this money that they will be getting for some of these players who move on. We saw Girona last year, who had a phenomenal debut, almost qualified for Europe, but this year, even though it took until the last day, relegated back to the Segunda. So what they have been able to do, guaranteeing themselves a spot in the top flight for 6 straight seasons. Quite an accomplishment.
Imagine being one of these proper dyed-in-the-wool coolies that don't see anything but Barcelona Blaugrana. Just imagine is a situation where so many of them want Valverde out, but it's Lionel Messi who keeps saving him. So basically, if you want Valverde out, you'd be saying, damn you, Leo.
Kind of easy to understand what's going on. I mean, there was a perfect generation of Barcelona players coming up with Lionel Messi. The stage was set. Now they're starting to get older, and Valverde, almost like the triage nurse, Band-Aid after Band-Aid.
I don't know, though, Phil. There's serious arguments to go against that. I mean, in the football under Lucio Enrique, it wasn't quite the stardust of those halcyon years under Guardiola. It's something that's gone out of this. He's all right, Phil. Take it easy, man. He's Barcelona boy.
He might have screened his hair. Wage made sure he wouldn't get past him. You were saying?
Nah, I can't remember.
It's just when you take a look at the players that have been brought in, going back even to a Rakitic or this year of Vidal, they fill certain roles that a younger Barcelona did not need to fill because they played as a team. They had the legs. Line set at the top of the 18, 5 ready to charge. Carries for Charles. Vidal a touch. Corner kick. And he landed awkwardly. Plus, in some ways, distance making the memories grow fonder. Jourdain from the corner. Cleared away. On paper, those early Pep Guardiola teams looked almost perfect, but they had to fight their way through. Remember all of those years talking about a plan B? What do you do when teams bunker in? Alenia. Well, it looked different in his head.
The thing as well with Guardiola and Lucio Enrique, I remember when we'd come into these commentary booths and the lineups would come out and you'd go, wow, this is different, this has changed. Valverde, not so much. And that question of being brave with their way is the thing that is just not going to dissolve in a lot of people's opinions on how this team has the quality, no matter the replacements. But has it the bravery and the belief that you go out and you go for more goals, you attack.
Malcolm departs nicely. Chance out wide.
Good ball.
That one driven inside as Carlos Perez stepping on to make a debut.
Beautiful early touches from young Carles.
The drumbeat continues at Iparrua. This one of those players getting his debut under Ernesto Valverde. But as far as significant minutes, it's also been a criticism.
Well, I'd say these are pretty significant, Phil. When a young lad like this, coming into a setup like this, playing with the greatest football on planet Earth, and the scoreline at 2-2, you're going to learn a little bit. So, let's wish this nicely muscled out young Carles, not the proper name, to be a leader.
Significant minutes, a responsibility, a reliance on some of these young players. And we saw that coming up from La Masia through Guardiola, and Tito and Tata. Well, in Cucurella getting it, and then just behind, up steps Piqué. And this year he has played the likes of a Miranda, a Chumi, Wage, Ricky Puig, and here today in Carlos Perez. But even Alenia, who was kept on the first team, sporadically played. Now, is that a question of Valverde's preferences, or the quality coming up from La Masia. And it's really hard to prove a negative. Another substitution getting set. Ramis, maybe time to say goodbye. Let's see. Pops back up.
Want to come out. I'm fine.
Barca already using its 3 wild cards. At the midway point, Alenya and now Perez. Okay, taking a little something off. Game of foot tennis, but they're headed to the wrong direction. Carlos Perez, 21 years of age. Came up through Espanyol. Cucurella, former teammate, in front, but he can't quite find Charles.
It's a great example. A little bit of hesitancy between Langley and Piqué, and it's understandable in that the ball was right in between the two, but Cucurella ain't holding back, and he grabs the initiative and drives onto the ball and gets there before both of them.
And for Alenya.
Up for man of the match for my book, Cucurella.
Final 15 minutes underway. Poked away from Messi. Again, 2 goals to his name, 36 on the season. By the way, that second one cracking the 50-goal mark in all competitions. 6th time in Messi's career he's broken the half-century. We already know the teams that will be going down in La Liga. Fellow Catalonians, Girona, then Huesca and Rayo. Osasuna and Granada in the driver's seat for the automatic berth of promotion. Now the Sete, Mallorca, Malaga and Cádiz in the playoff spots, while Deportivo and Oviedo may be the best chance to sneak in.
Look at this kid. He's already taking his pictures as he's driving past two of the best central defenders in world football, and he gets there and he terrorizes down that left. Wonderful from young Mark.
Now it's Sergio Alvarez looking to close the deal. 27-year-old ex-Gijon man, former Spanish youth international. Piqué getting it out of danger.
Beautifully.
To take a look for Eibar, and they have to go through this every season in some ways. But there's a good chance they could lose Dimitrovic, their starting keeper. Ramis, maybe lose Jordan in the midfield. Oriana's 33, not getting any younger. Cucurella back to Barcelona. And Charles, 35. Even if he does stick around, sooner or later you expect the production to drop. So
I tell you, I can expect as well that this, if Barcelona do take Marc Cucurella back, they may send one of the other young players that we've seen here today back in return, because Eibar's doing a good job in terms of invigorating the players, stimulating them and making them play better football with the seasoning, with the time. So it's obviously a club they trust, they know, and maybe one or two more ex-Barcelona, 4 regular Barcelona players coming on loan. They've got so much in stock, the young ones, and so many big players arriving.
just flipped over Kike. The spin might just keep it in. Cucurella again first to the loose ball. Jordan wide. Cote. Dangerous. Charles challenging everything. Oriana. The Chilean flicked on back post. Back in the middle, Cucurella, but he can't get the leg up in time.
Well played by Susie Roberto there, just getting to it early enough.
Messi almost by intent.
Too quick. Sergio Roberto and Yella Peril comes out, and probably right. And played by Sergi, linking up with Leo. No question.
80th minute. Messi still out there, as he will be at the end. Valverde giving him the free rein.
Oh,
Off the face of Piqué following the deflection. Soft touch. Orellana wants it back, gets it back. 3v5. Orellana against Alba. Parried away by Wague.
good reading of the space by this young man. Knowing that he's got the cover behind, in all likelihood, he'd probably taken a look around and see where Longley and Piqué is. Gets it. His positioning dead right. Well played, Wague.
Jordan again from the corner. 5th of the game for Eibar. Snuck in at that near post. Kike wasn't quite ready. Great, 37% possession, but they're out shooting Barcelona 15-6. They have been the aggressors. And again, a chance from short range. Jordan, Orellana, Cucurella, off for the bar. How did he miss from 7 yards out?
Just giving Barcelona a big favour, and it'll probably be saying, hey, I want that favour returned. Wonderful touch to control it, and sprawling in front of him is Jacobson. Jacobson comes out, spreads himself. Oh, does it take a touch? Does it take a touch off Chalice?
Scored a brilliant goal to start this day. Almost a game winner. And there are man of the match candidates. De Blasis and Cucurella. And Messi, the goal scorers. Vidal carrying the midfield for man of the match. Winner announced at the end of the game. Cast your vote at beIN Sports USA on Twitter right now.
It's a good lineup.
Little tangle. Alba and Escalante arguing their case, and each of them will get a lovely parting gift. 4th caution against Eibar, 2nd against Barca.
Argentine Escalante taking a little pop and a push and a shove. Barrios.
Ball deflected far side. Vidal sprinting over.
Nicely. Oh.
Speaking of Escalante, what more would you expect from a Boca boy?
What are you saying?
Speaking of Boca, the draw for the Copa Libertadores earlier this week.
Yeah.
And very familiar opposition. Unlike Champions League, you can draw the team from your group. A rematch with Atletico Paranaense. Of course, action starting out in late July as the Copa getting back underway here on beIN Sports. Don't forget, African Cup of Nations also on tap this summer. Keep it on beINSports.com for more. A lot of times it can be, on a compressed field, ugly football. And while there can be a share of counterattacks and fast breaks here at Iparua, both Teams showing good possession. Messi here, maybe the best. Slaloming through, sneaks it in for Vidal and keeps his feet. Back for Messi, but the shot goes high.
A wonderful setup. Again, it's the quickness of his magical feet. He shifts the ball from right to left here. What the hell's the point? Are you kidding me?
Mentioned Barcelona youngsters coming through, and Marc Cardona on loan from Barcelona, just like Cucurella, the 23-year-old. Might be back next year. No word on a buyback for Barca. And he's gotten nearly 20 games worth of action while on loan.
Part of this Cucurella situation is if Barcelona do bring him back with all the imports they're bringing in, on top of, look at that, on top of that, Phil, is the balancing of the books. And if they bring Marc Cucurella back, is it possible that they the eye-bar?
Ray,
with all due respect,
is there a romanticizing? I mean, football has changed over the last 10 years since Pep Guardiola kind of started this magic show. I mean, remember back then, if anyone would have said $100 million transfer, you would have been laughed at. And now, for some of these players, that's cheap.
Yeah.
So would a Cucurella have had a chance? Would a Ricky Poch have had the chance? Would we have seen more of Aleñá or Chumi back in the days of Pep and Tito? Can you afford to play your youngsters when you're at the altitude of a Barcelona?
Well, certainly rotate, and I think that's one of the things that you saw from some of those coaches that would, well, credit to Valverde here today. Finally, the substitutions were made, but as you said at the outset, you'd think in a game like this that, I mean, these aren't just regular corned beef and ham players. These are players with tremendous talent. What a ball.
Oh, flicked on Aleñá, challenging Perez.
Well played.
Almost sneaking the shot in.
He hasn't seen much of the ball, this young lad, Carlos Perez. But every time he has, he's made quick, sharp decisions, recognizing this one. And then, again, quick to it. Lovely little touch here, recognizing it and just kind of arrow it down.
Lassie's paying the price. Out of Ferrocarril Oeste, legendary Argentine club. Will there be a winner? Seen some fantastic goals. Cucurella early, Messi with 2, and De Blasio with probably the best of the bunch. Might focus in on the poor clearance from Cillessen, but take the blinders off and appreciate the genius of De Blasis.
Well, it's a wonder strike. Golazo, for sure. But a goal from Lionel, it was arguably Frog's hair offside, was a wonderfully worked team goal.
From one box to the other.
Yeah.
Busquets rolls it across, and Ray, the 2018-19 La Liga season has 1 minute of regulation remaining. Barcelona victorious. Back in the corner, trying to keep it alive. Cardona. Escalante. Vidal getting in the way. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid.
Oh,
Through ball for Messi, a surprising Valencia into the Champions League spots. Sergio Roberto pushing up the line, swept across for Piqué, but tiny Pablo getting in the way.
Sergio Roberto does well to keep Lionel's run going, and then Leo starts to take it all into consideration to try to find Piqué. Just under hits the pass.
Miracle season for Getafe falls 2 points short. They will have to settle for Europa, while Sevilla and Espanyol both nip in. Barcelona's neighbors just over Athletic on the tiebreak. And then Girona, Huesca and Rayo down to the Segunda.
Athletic Bilbao pulled themselves up throughout the season as well, didn't they? Some surprising turnarounds.
Eibar's old coach stepping in December 4th when they were in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
And it was all the way to round 38 before they fell out of the European spots. What a turnaround that would have been for Garitano and company. Longley in pain. The trainers come out, and you can see might have pulled something.
It's just a wrap on the knee, it seems. Stinger. Yeah, he'll be fine.
2 minutes added, and we are coming perilously close. But Ray, big thoughts on the 18-19 campaign?
Well, another disappointing one for the real creme de la creme of La Liga football. It has to be said. Real Madrid's horrendous season. Athletic dealing with possibly relegation for a long time. Athletic Club at the other end. Atletico Madrid taking a 2-0 lead over to Italy. Looked as if they were going to advance, could not. But Barcelona is the biggest shock of them all. And Anfield, of course, but in the domestic league, Phil, absolutely magnificent. And so much of their football in the result department, and the questions will remain. Did it set itself up because of a coach that was perhaps lacking in the bravery department? It's always going to be discussed and debated, but overall it's been another wonderful domestic league challenge, but Barcelona just too good and too far ahead in the individual class. In another magnificent performance by Lionel Messi.
Jordan steals it away, keeps it rolling, bending ball from Orellana, and that's going to do it. Cardona took the hit inside the arc, but couldn't keep it alive. Jordan. And Ray, you talked about the pragmatism of Valverde. It's a feature, not a bug. And apparently the Barcelona board quite content. Mentioned Quique Setien cut loose from Betis while this game was going on, but it looks like Ernesto Valverde will continue. Barcelona champions, Pichichi Messi, and almost certainly the Golden Boot as well. 2-2 the final at Iparua.
Ken, Messi dependencia continues and lives and thrives. Beautifully set up by the Mohican. A Mohawk man pulls a beautiful ball, and for this second one, Messi with the audacious chip, the Stradivarius comes out, and man does it, plays sweet music for Ford man of the match, for Barcelona's man of the season, and for all seasons, Lionel Messi, the true saviour of Barcelona again.
He stepped in today. 2-2. Barcelona shares the points at Eibar.
How was Spain? They go crazy for soccer. And you know what? It's totally contagious. When you watch a match, you become one of them. Can't be soccer. That's got to be something else.
La Liga was brought to you by Ford. Llega más lejos. El orgullo de tener una Ford SUV es difícil de explicar. Es un orgullo que te hace levantar temprano los domingos a lavarla, que te hace aplicarle esa capa extra de cera aún cuando ya se ve perfecta. Porque sabes que esa SUV no es cualquier SUV. Es de la compañía que lleva un siglo construyendo autos que millones de personas estacionan en su garaje. Ese es el orgullo que entendemos. ¿Por qué crees que lleva nuestro nombre?
Drivers just won't put their phones down. We need a solution. Introducing Smart.